Hi, today's good person to know is Duncan Cheatle. He's founder of the Supper Club, and he gave a talk on the problems that 95% of businesses who fail go through time and time again. And to avoid being one of these casualties, please listen very carefully. The number of small businesses in the UK has risen to over 5 million, and only 1 in every 20 have more than 10 staff. Duncan says fundamental to any business is people, time and money, and he took each point in turn. He says in order to attract the right people, you have to have a clear vision and that your passion counts for a lot. If you've got a business plan, let people in the business read it so that everybody knows the direction to go in. Duncan made the point of saying he absolutely hates the phrase, if it's not broken, you don't need to fix it. He says you must continually make adjustments to your business. With regards to time, he says buy yourself time so that you can step back and review the situation, and say the best people who scale up are those who try to make themselves redundant. And with regards to money, Duncan says pay particular attention to the margins, and that if you can, price up, and if you need to, bring the price down by offering discounts. Duncan then gave us his key tips, which included staying focused, communicating effectively and delegating, because the aim is to make yourself redundant. This video is particularly relevant to small businesses and entrepreneurs who are looking to scale. I hope Duncan's words of wisdom resonate with you in some way. So I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for watching.
There are kind of 5 golden rules if you want some sort of takeaways apart from kind of people, time and money.
Set up the Supper Club about 11 years ago, and we're home to 350 of Britain's fastest growing entrepreneurs. What I've seen over that time is that about 95% of businesses face 95% of the same challenges. Some of the things that I've seen that are consistent challenges to businesses that are trying to grow above £500,000 turnover and beyond. If we look back in time to the 1970s, it's really encouraging to see that the number of businesses that we have in this country now has risen to just over 5 million. But the truth is, too many businesses are failing and too many businesses are not scaling. Only 1 in 20 businesses have more than 10 staff. If you're running a business, it's very easy to overcomplicate things. Fundamentally, you're juggling 3 resources: people, time and money. In that a lot of early stage businesses struggle. They have an idea of the dream, they have an idea of exactly what they want to do with their business, whatever the service or product is they want to bring to market to solve a problem they've identified. Sometimes there's a losing contact with what the end game was and what the vision for the business was. One thing you've got is the passion for what you're doing, and that's largely what's going to draw people in to come and work for you. For those of you that are sharing your business plan, I just wonder if I were to ask any one of your staff exactly what the long-term vision and what the long-term plan for your business is, would they all answer in exactly the same way? If you want to attract great talent to your business you're scaling, is concisely pull together a really believable and credible vision for the business. Vision and values is something that people talk about quite a lot as being something you see in big corporates. In my experiences, the fastest growing businesses absolutely nail vision and values. Unfortunately, when you start a business, everything else being equal, this is what you face. We don't face economies of scale. They kick in when you get to about 200 staff. So what you find is as you're sort of scaling through staff numbers, you hit increasing step costs. So we're facing, unless we do something about it, diseconomies of scale. The truth is we should always be trying to keep our margin, i.e. the percentage profit, staying the same or ideally improving. I always talk about if cash is king, margin is emperor. The diseconomy of scale, and the thing I see more often is the turnover goes up, but over time that profit's flatlining. And that just means fundamentally, if it's not obvious, that for every sale you're making, every extra pound, you're making less and less money. If you want to improve margin, there are only 3 things you can do. You can increase prices, you can reduce costs, or you can improve productivity. It's the last time you got one of your team or you went through every cost and I thought, can we not do something about this? Every business faces cost creep. People love spending money. There's one thing you could do. Could you go back tomorrow and really think about what impact it would have if you upped your prices by 10%? If anything, keep costs down and sort of just compare. Because there are lots of things that new services are coming in more cost effective. If you genuinely think your core service or product is immovable, there's nothing you can do to increase prices. There is another thing you can do, and that's to build a new product or service alongside it. Time, unfortunately, is one we can't buy back. The clock ticks away relentlessly. My overall objective, I'd suggest for all of you, is make yourself redundant. If you can identify early why it is that you couldn't leave your business for 3 months, make it 2 months, and not come back and it still function? Is that down to the fact that you're not able, because there's not enough margin in your business to hire enough people? Is it because you're not able to delegate because you like to be in control of everything? I find that is a very common one. People say, well, why is capital value important? What I mean by capital value is value that someone else would put in your business if you did put it up for sale. And it doesn't really matter whether you have no aspiration to sell or not. What you don't want to do is put your heart and soul into building a business and then find, God forbid, but you fell sick and that business is heavily dependent on you. Decide what it is that you do best and delegate the rest, and obsess about finding people who can do the other stuff better than you can. If you get to the point where you have that team around you that are doing the bits you don't do well better than you, you can focus on the stuff that energizes you, the stuff you love for the long-term success and sustainability of your business. Is you've got much more time to think about the opportunities and threats the business is facing. It doesn't matter the size of the business. If you're aspiring to scale and grow the business, you want to get to the point where you're only thinking about the business 3 months and out. Threats and opportunities, and you have a team ideally delivering the rest. Watched over the last 11 years, seeing some extraordinary businesses scale and break through the barriers to growth. Seen it come down to 5 golden rules, and if you can nail all of these, focus. I think most of us have a temptation to start a business and then see a shiny new project that looks really exciting. Focus is absolutely critical. Second one is communicate. It helps with everything from recruitment, dealing with suppliers, dealing with prospects and clients, other stakeholders like banks. I've just talked about delegation and the goal of making yourself redundant. Calibration, and what I mean by that is it's not just about measuring, it's about measuring the right stuff. What are the drivers in your business, and get you focused on key performance indicators. Turnover alone is not enormously helpful. Working out what your perhaps gross profit per member of staff is, or what's your overall costs per head count. These are quite good things to track over time and graph out just to see, are you trending in the right way. I absolutely hate the expression, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the reason for that is, it's a mindset. I'm all about, in our business, continual improvement. I think you're dead. If you keep doing what you do just indefinitely, your business will be gone. What things in your business are creeping up, whether it's technological, regulatory or anything else, that might put your business at jeopardy?